Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Betafpv's Lite Radio 4. It is a 10-channel Express LRS V3 pre-installed 2.4 GHz fully configurable via the Betafpv Configurator, ultra portable gamer style remote controller. Now it comes in Mode 1, right stick throttle, or Mode 2, the left stick throttle, for $44.99 with the potentiometer gimbals in the dark gray color, which I have here. And for a limited time, the Twilight Limited Edition is available, which only comes in the Mode 2 for $49.99 in the light gray color with the Hall sensor gimbals. It comes in at a weight of 219 grams, measures in at 172 millimeters by 118 millimeters and by 72 millimeters in thickness. It has the two-piece adjustable non-magnetic metal alloy M3 gimbal sticks, and the shaft is made out of magnetic metal. So you can easily replace it with aftermarket gimbal sticks. Now the neck strap lanyard hook is also a non-magnetic metal as well, with the rest of the controller made from durable plastic construction. We have the power button. A short followed by a long press powers it on and powers it off. We have the 5-position trim buttons, which was missing on the previous Lite radios. So now you can trim on the fly. Now I like to use the pitch trim buttons on an RC car or boat to keep it moving at a steady pace, kind of like having cruise control. And if you wanted to return to the center trim, you have to reverse the trim button direction till it beeps center trim. But with this 5-position trim button, all you have to do is long press the trim button and it will return to center trim, which is an awesome feature that some of the expensive remote controllers do not have. Okay, so here's the trim. So you'll have a constant speed like cruise control. You can still throttle, and you can even go backwards, just like that. And when you want to turn it off, long press, and trim is centered. We have the status LED light on the left with 4 battery level LED lights. Up on top we have the dual position SA and the SD buttons. We have the 3-position SB and the SC buttons, and the momentary SE and the SF buttons. We have the removable soft plastic contoured grips in the back, which makes the controller very comfortable to hold in the hands. It has a built-in 3.7 volt 2000 milliamp hour LiPo battery with a runtime of 8 hours at 25 milliwatt power output and 4-hour runtime at 100 milliwatt power output. It charges up in about 40 minutes at 15 watts via the 5-volt USB Type-C port at 3 amps, which is also the data transfer port. So we also have the bind button and the setup button next to the Type-C port. So you can connect the remote controller to your computer to play simulators by simply connecting it via the Type-C port directly using a cable, or by using the Bluetooth joystick mode wirelessly. So even without a display screen, you can put the remote controller into the Bluetooth joystick mode and even the Wi-Fi connectivity mode as well. So to put the remote controller into the Bluetooth joystick mode, simply press and hold the bind button and power on the remote. The LED light will change from blue to purple. It is in the Bluetooth mode. Now you can connect it via Bluetooth to your computer to play Flight Simulator. So to put the remote controller into the Wi-Fi mode, put it into the Bluetooth mode first and then press the bind button once again. The light will change to green. It is now in the Wi-Fi mode. So now you can connect with your computer and use the ELRS web UI to configure the binding phrase so you can bind it to all your ELRS receivers with the same binding phrase. Now to bind using the bind button only, simply put the ELRS receiver into the binding mode with the traditional powering it up quickly 3 times and leaving it on the 3rd time. And long press the bind button on the remote controller to bind. Now the setup button is used to calibrate the sticks if it needs calibration. So long press the setup button and then place the sticks in the mid position. Next, short press the setup button to record the center points of the sticks. Now move the sticks to the 4 boundaries, up, down, left, and right. Now short press the setup button once again to record the stick boundaries and complete the calibration. Now most of these non-display screen equipped budget remote controllers have no way of changing button configurations except in Betaflight, but it is actually the quadcopter that is being configured and not the remote controller. So Betafpv has their own configurator. It is the Betafpv Configurator 2.0. You can configure flight controllers and radio transmitters. So connect via the USB-C port. Click on the bottom bar. No need to power on the remote controller. Click on the Connect RC next. Here you can choose Mode 1 or Mode 2. So I'm assuming that you can change the Twilight version to Mode 1 or the regular Mode 1 radio to Mode 2 if Mode 2 isn't available, and vice versa. So you can set up the RF module. In this case, we'll only have the internal RF module since there isn't an external module bay. You can change the power output from 25 milliwatt, 50 milliwatt, 100 milliwatt. Also, you can change the packet rate from 50, 150, 250, and 500 hertz. You can change the telemetry ratio from 1 to 128 to 1 to 2, and also off. We have the channel bars on the left, and we have the channels and the input names on the right. So you can change the channel configurations here. You can change the scale down from 100 to 1. You can also change the offset parameters from 100 to -100. You can reverse the channels and also change the stick dead zone up to 10%. You can go to the firmware flasher and flash to the latest firmware. Now the Radio 4 is not listed here, so you need to click Load Firmware Local, download the bin file to your computer from the Betafpv product page link, and update the firmware if needed. Here we go. one of the smallest quadcopters, the Tiny Hoop, Betafpv's Air 65. This little thing is so powerful for its size. Look at that. Yep, nice controls. All right. Okay, so now with one of my bigger quadcopters, the Ichin Tyro 119. Yeah, nice controls as well. Nice. Okay, so now for a little distance test. So the radio is set to 25 milliwatt power output. There I am. Let's head towards the park. So you can see the distance on the left side of the screen. It is at 150 meters and climbing. .300 meters. And there's the park on the right side. Pretty good so far. 500 meters, a little static. Okay, I'm going to turn around over here. Okay, a brief RX loss moment right there, but no issues. Regain control. So roughly about 650, 700 meters at 25 milliwatt power output. All right, headed towards the empty field, dirt field, and there I am on the right side. So let's head on over to the opposite side. .200 meters. Like 400 meters coming up. It seems I'm traveling further, but it's still at about 550 meters only. So I'm going to turn around right about 700 meters as well on this side. Oh, I went a little bit further, almost 800 meters. Ooh, lots of static. I don't know if I had an RX loss because of the static, but nevertheless, I still got control, so that is good. Let's head on back. So good enough for 25 milliwatt power output. Not bad at all. Okay, there I am on the left. Got a little bit of battery left, so let's use that up. Do some power loops over here. Yeah, the controls are really nice. For small transmitter, very comfortable in the hands. All right, time to land it. There we go. Yeah, 797 meters. Okay, so here we go with the Betafpv's 65 Air 65 tiny hoop. Now, unfortunately, the batteries for this tiny hoop are all really bad. I fully charged them, but yeah, they're not holding a charge. So I need to get some new batteries, but I'll do a quick flight to show the controls with the radio by landing on the table. There we go, landed on the table. Nice. So the Lite Radio 4 is a bit more than what you would expect from an entry-level budget remote controller. It gives you 10 channels. It is ultra portable. You can connect to flight simulators via the Type-C port or via Bluetooth wirelessly. It has Wi-Fi connectivity, so you can set up your bind phrase with the ELRS web UI, so you can bind to all your ELRS receivers automatically. It has long battery life of up to 8 hours at 25 milliwatts. And for a limited time, you can pick up the Hall sensor equipped Twilight Edition for only $49.99. Now, I really like this remote controller. It has all I need for easy simulator hookup. It binds to all my ELRS receivers. And I especially like the return to center trim feature. It doesn't take up much space, and it is priced at only $45.99. So check it out if interested. The link is down below. So I thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.